Yeah, I had to find some high-tech gizmo to figure out my ride height, which is a 4x4.
Mm-hmm. A true 4x4. That's not even.
No, I had to.
It's a true 4x4.
Yeah, yeah, it's an old one. So.
It's heavy too. I think that's hardwood.
Yeah. So that's how the back's not at the right height though.
Yeah. We did that for photo ops.
Photo ops, yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram. The reason I'm building an MG Midget, because I like them. I picked this up off of Kijiji, the Canadian Craigslist. So I've got my SRT4 motor, which is out of a PT Cruiser, hooked up to a Jeep Liberty bell housing. So this transmission, MA5.
Look at you, it's already up in there.
Yeah, because this car is a unibody. I'm gonna be converting it to a frame-on chassis. It's gonna be better than what it started. So I've cut out the original chassis parts. There they are down there, they're pretty rotten. This has been a really good educational experience for someone who is building a car for the track. All right, so I'm gonna just give you guys a little overview of the project. I know it's been a little bit time delay between videos from the first set. So we've got our big block 2.4 Dodge motor, which I like to call an SRT4 because I think they're pretty much the same. Some people might argue with me, I don't really care. This is the stock turbo setup. These turbos, you can apparently get up to 300 horse out of them. This configuration doesn't work for the Midget because it'll hit the firewall and whatnot. So I was shopping around for a turbo, and a chance event is Matt Sherrington actually sent us a Chinese turbo, and I was looking at these guys online. You know, it's a size like a Garrett 30, GT30. So this should be around 400 horse. I don't know, we'll find out. And another user, Blaine, thank you so much, Blaine. He's helping me out huge on this build because he has a CNC plasma table. And I want one really bad, so if anybody's watching that doesn't want theirs, yes, please. He helped me out, and he made these flanges. So this is gonna be my exhaust flange, and I'm actually gonna switch this to a divided turbo flange because maybe a future upgrade I'm gonna do is a divided turbo. Apparently they spool about 20% better. We'll see if I even need it because this thing's gonna be scary as it is. And he also made the exhaust flange here, so that's gonna go on here. We've got all the little bips and bobs to start making our exhaust manifold. I'm gonna do that in a much later video because I have to get the motor into the chassis with the body and everything to figure out my dimensions and where I'm gonna route things. So on the motor, we've covered the exhaust. The turbo is gonna be in this area. The intake manifold, I'm not sure, but I wanna bring it a log style manifold to the front. Probably what I'm gonna do is hack up the original one and weld a box, or I'll get someone better at welding to weld a box onto it. We'll figure that out. I originally said I was gonna use a Ford 8.8, but when we went to Area 1320, I was talking to those guys, and they were telling me about Subaru rear ends and how they're independent rear suspension and they're limited slip. Most of the like 2000 Subarus came with a limited slip rear end, and apparently they can handle the power that I'm gonna put out in this motor. And I know where there's a couple sitting around maybe. Right, Tuesley? Another quick thing I wanted to say about the motor is we're gonna have to do a refresh on this, and I know there is some surprises in here. I already pulled the valve cover off and had a look, and it's not the greatest, but I think we can save this motor. I've also looked at putting pistons and rods in it because that is one of the weaker points of the motor when you get into the higher horsepower ratings. I'm not sure yet because I can't really afford to drop that kind of money into this. We're gonna open it up and have a look inside and do what we can. One thing on the motor I'm definitely gonna do is remove the balance shafts in the lower end of the motor. That's a failure point. I wanna get rid of that. Another thing I've read into is changing the cam followers. I think it's out of like a 2.7 liter V6. Gives you a better ratio or better oiling on the cams. So I know there's oiling issues in this motor as it is. So I love reading your guys' comments. They're great, good or bad. I want to hear your opinions. I use them. I usually have thought about most of the stuff you guys are saying, but I still like to hear it because it reaffirms maybe I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. So on the chassis that we're building, So this is gonna be the base plate and we're gonna build up. I'm probably gonna do more of a trans tunnel support. I'm gonna bring uprights in here with integrated roll bar, all those kind of things. That's gonna be further down. Right now, I just gotta fit the body on there, and then we're gonna go from there to see where I can brace it and make it stronger, because it already is gonna be a death trap, so I wanna make it a safer death trap. So Hoogie will actually go for a ride with me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some space. Get rid of the shitty old floor that's rusted in our nice Canadian climate. And then we'll try and fit it on the body. When Rich shows up, because he's out with his family and I don't blame him. I'm using really cheap Sawzall blades. This one's almost done from just that little bit of cutting. So I've cut out the original chassis parts. There they are down there. They're pretty rotten. We've seen better days. And it's just a single box design. Pretty light steel. Definitely going much heavier than that. So the idea is the frame's gonna come up here like you guys seen. Cross and down. And then I gotta remove this part where the rear reliefs and stuff built in is actually a little bit beefier. It's double thickness in through here. So I just got to take my time with the angle grinder and what I have left for the crappy Sawzall blades, and it will just take a slice right through. I also got to come up in here, and this is a jack point on the car, so there's a little pipe in there, so I got to cut around that. I'm ideally wanting to cut this ledge and notch cut up in here. So as you can see on that side, that's actually kind of the structure of the body, and it's all rotten about a few inches up. You can see in here too, it's all rotten in this area. Somebody's already kind of patched and things in here. There's a lot of goodies in there. These rockers have been replaced. To be honest, this is probably the best thing that could happen with this car, because it would have been in the dump. Probably would have got crushed. I probably could just remove this whole section, but I want to fit it on the car first before I cut too much and the body starts twisting. So I have my little crappy braces there. That's why I left this in, to keep the front kind of together. And that's why I'm not cutting into these too much right now. I probably can though. And we'll fit this on when Rich gets back.
One of these guys has had multiple hernias.
Flip it over. Yeah, do it. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm losing so much weight. Okay, let's put her down. Okay.
Don't get it squeezed in there. Just lift up one side or the other.
So do we get it?
Yeah, we just a little bit of a gap here, but honestly,
I don't really want
not bad.
I don't really want to fart all over it, but
It's
sure.
not bad. Nice work, Stefan.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. It's gonna work.
Or we could just put in that little L bracket, or just fill it.
Yeah, it depends how good the steel is. You'll have to clean it off and get it.
I'm gonna get, once I'm done cutting, I'm gonna get it sent out and sandblast it.
Okay, because you're hitting on a little spot back here.
Yep.
And if you cut that off,
It probably dropped down a little bit.
you're close. The rockers. Yeah, you could drop it a little bit.
This side's good.
Yeah, you drop it a hair.
This side is completely perfect. So don't forget, this is coming out. That's just to keep the body together. This whole front part, but yeah, just a hair over here.
Yeah.
All right,
Not bad. Nice.
yeah, let's put the seat in it. I think we're done. Just look at this. Look at that.
You gotta be able to get in.
The steering wheel's over here. And don't forget, this isn't going to be here. This is just for body support.
This is the top of your door, is it not?
What, the broom?
Yeah.
That's the top of your door.
I'm sitting low in it, yeah.
I know, you're really low. I'm just saying though, like your arm is like outside the car.
That's normal though. This is an MG Midget.
Yeah, but you lowered the seat a lot.
This isn't an Escalade.
No?
No.
Come on, get out of
This
here.
isn't a C10. See how much room you got in there?
Actually, yeah, I might be able to.
Rich, you don't drive with your elbows. Don't forget that bar isn't gonna be there. Yeah.
But there's gonna be a door there.
Telescoping steering wheel, one of the ones that comes in and out.
You don't need any of that. The car's so small. You guys are all silly. Because you won't be able to handle.
Honestly, it's better than I thought it was.
Yeah, thank you.
With that in here, I think it's better than I thought it was.
Just
Can you put like 2 like indents in the floor where your heels could go?
What, you want a Fred Flintstone the car?
Yeah.
That is, you're gonna be like 2 inches off the ground.
Just like just indent it 1.5 inches. It's fine.
Look how much room you got in here. And like the dash isn't even, no, that's the dash.
It's okay.
I'll just, when you drive, I'll just take the door off.
That will make me feel really good.
It'll be like a Jeep.
So far, so good.
I'm happy.
I'm
I'm
actually
happy.
pretty happy, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty solid on there.
It did drop right in. So measuring,
Once with a tape boss.
yeah, well now we got one. This has been a really good educational experience for someone who is building a car for the track. And has some experience, but not a lot on, well, we have some experience on building a race car, but
Not driving it.
not driving it. Originally I thought I was going to be able to just notch this Fiero front suspension out, drop it in, boom, Bob's your uncle, you're good to go, we're on the track, we're getting dirty with the midget. But it ain't going to happen like that because I could have made it work, we could have finagled it and made it work in there, but it would have been a lot of questionable things in it, and it probably would have handled pretty crappily. So then my next thought, okay, Mustang 2, hot rodders, dream, right? That wouldn't even be a real bolt-in solution either because your pinion angles and everything, the geometry. So we're gonna take it to the next step and we're gonna build our own. I'm just gonna steal a lot of ideas from a lot of other people and put it into this. Looking at these spindles, they're only 6 1/4. They're a little bit too short. I didn't realize how short they were. They're not Mustang 2.
It's cold in Canada, so it's a bit shorter.
It is a bit shorter. So because of my mounting points on my frame, I'm gonna have a pretty long lower control arm. And between my upper and lower, I'm gonna have a 10-degree downslope. And if I use only a 6 1/4 inch tall spindle, my mounting points are gonna be pretty close to each other, and I don't think that's gonna be really great suspension geometry.
Yeah, so because when you actually do your like sink down or turn, your camber is going to be off because it's too close.
Because it's just more better.
Yeah.
I have some spindles from a B-body Cutlass at home that I was going to put on my 70 Cutlass, but then that project, well, I took it apart and never put it back together, like most projects, right? But this one's getting done. I've got a shitty tire and rim that's kind of the size we're going with, so I had my buddy come by. He has his own YouTube video, guys, check it out. It's SK8215. He's building a death cart Mercedes, AMG Mercedes, supercharged, twin turboed, to the max, crazy ass cart. So check it out.
Someone should inform him that life insurance doesn't cover race car driving.
He's young and has still lots of ambition. That's why I'm going with a 4-cylinder. He's doing a twin turboed supercharged V8.
So he helped you out with the geometry?
I did a lot of research and the information I got was correct, but it's still one thing to be like stuff off the internet and applying it. And he has actually a lot of good videos on suspension geometry and Ackerman steering and blah blah blah, all the fancy doodad names. So let's have a look what we figured out. So I've got my spindle. It's from the Fiero. I am gonna use it. Don't mind that little cut there. It's steel, we'll weld it back up. I got a little happy with the angle grinder. But I had to set my ride height. So this is actually gonna be my ride height of the car. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of this out. And what you wanna do to figure it out is your lower control arm mount here. My lower control arm is gonna come across here and it's gonna be straight in this is getting cut out of the way, and we're gonna build up our own cross member. Got another buddy helping me with that. He doesn't have a YouTube channel though, so thanks, Blaine. But what you want to do on to get the right geometry is your lower control arm at your ride height has to be straight, parallel pretty much with the ground, and your upper control arm needs to have a slight taper to it, and they tend to angle it back a little bit to get your caster and some other fancy words.
Caster, yeah.
Yeah. So
but you want about 10 degree angle down, right?
Yeah, 10 degree down ballpark. So I just had to figure out, because it's uneven wishbone suspension. Oh man, you guys are gonna kill me on all the. I forget all the names. I know them. Whatever. Just roll with it. All right. You don't have to correct me in the comments.
Correct them in the comments.
Whatever. The upper wishbone or whatever is going to be shorter than the lower one, so you get the whatever. It just keeps your camber and stuff right when you hit bumps, okay? That's all you need to know. Yeah. Anyway, upper arm, let's get back to it. Upper arm, 10 degree down angle, and then slightly to the back. So what I'm going to do is my cross member is going to come up. It's roughly actually going to be the lower control arm mounts there, and then it's going to come over straight up, and I'm going to have a slotted face, so I'll be able to adjust my upper control arm to get the correct geometry. That's what took so long.
Yeah, took a long time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But so from here, Blaine is gonna start plasma cutting out the frame.
Check out that. That's what we're doing. So you got your 12 inches from center. Mounting point is 5 inches from the bottom of this to the center, and then this is 14 inches from the top. And the slot starts at 13 and goes to 10 inches up from the bottom. Easy, right? Done.
He's getting the measurements and he's cutting that out. You were ordering the upper wishbone or A-arm, whatever?
An upper control arm.
Yeah.
I can use a stock Mustang 2 one.
You're working on pillars?
Yeah, I'm making the upper pillar. So this is gonna slot in here into this area. I still gotta trim the top, and that's kind of gonna be the part of the anti-die factor of the car, because then I can bolt my door into this, like I was saying. This is going to be recessed into the steel here.
Yeah. So right up to basically to the outside of the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your door gets bolted to that.
Yeah. So to give some extra rigidity, so they're tiny little things.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta still figure out my coilovers.
So where's the best place to buy them?
Best place to buy them, as in cheapest place to buy them. So China.
or somebody buy the alphas, and
hopefully somebody buys the alphas.
And then we're just balling. Then we're just top of the line. Yeah.
I'll buy 2 new tires.